had to take a few minutes break. These things take a long time to do. If you have already commented, sorry I haven't been able to respond yet. So hopefully, yeah, y'all are getting this. We pretty much try to explain most of this during the time where we're at. This is a lot of reading, and most of the New Testament I'm more familiar with than the Old Testament. So I'm kind of learning at the same time with y'all. I've already heard it before, a lot of this, but I haven't even read it before.
Every time we read.
But every single time I read anything, I'm learning something new. So we're going to go ahead and get into this right now. This is Joshua chapter 9. So tonight I'm a little tired. It's very hard to space this out because I'm trying to have all this done within a year's time. And we're still behind at least, I think we're behind like 1 or 2 chapters. I mean, 2 different days. So we're going to get caught up on one of these days somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we got to get caught up.
We got to do it on Psalms Day. Psalms doesn't take long.
I guess on the days of the Psalms days, we can get caught up. Maybe Megan can do Psalm, and maybe I can do Psalm, and then in order to get caught up.
We only get 2 Psalms, I think, on the Psalms days.
So the Psalms days are like the best days to get caught up on. So we'll try to start doing that.
Psalm, whichever one I prefer.
Okay, here we go. And it came to pass when all the kings, this is called kings join the forces, okay? Kings join forces. It says, and it came to pass when all the kings were on the side of Jordan, in the hills, and the valleys, and all the coast, and the great sea over against Lebanon, Hittite, and Amorite, and Canaanite, and Perizzite, and Hivite, and Jebusite, heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua, with Israel, with one accord. So everybody joined alliances with Joshua. Wow, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? Everybody said, okay, we surrender. We're on your side. We're all coming. We're here. This is called Gideon's deceit. This is Joshua 9, 3 through 5. It says, and when the inhabitants of Gideon heard what Joshua had done into Jericho and to Ai, they did work, it says, willingly. So let's look and see what the actual word means. It's called craftably.
Yeah.
So they were ready to help. It says, and went and made as it were, as they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles, and old and rent and bound up. So they started getting everything prepared. It says, and old shoes and clouded upon them their feet, and old garments upon them. And it says, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. Ugh, that sounds kind of gross.
Yeah.
Why would they do all that? So let's see kind of what it's saying. So it says, although Israel was commanded to destroy the Canaanite city, she could enter into a peace treaty with more distinct people. It says, hence Gideon, which law close at hand, hoped to preserve its existence. Gibeon. So not Gideon. Gibeon. I don't know what I was saying Gideon. Maybe it's because we're
I thought
church.
it was Gideon originally too.
And the ambassadors of the peace who framed their arrivals as being after a long journey. Okay, well, anyway, so this is what's going on. They went to go help them. Israel's failure to seek divine guidance in the matter led to a formal treaty with the Gibeonites, although they had been tricked since Joshua and the leaders had sealed the covenant with a solemn oath. And Israel, it says the Israelites were obligated, obligated to keep its terms. So they were obligated, in other words, to keep the terms. Like they swore it with an oath, like with a signet ring, like it's done. It says the alliance was to be a source of constant trouble for Israel. They constantly had this forever because they did this day. So they had it for a long time. Well, maybe not forever, for Israel. So they kept dealing with this because of this. This is where we're going now. It says a request for a treaty. And it says, and they went to Joshua into the camp of Gilgal and said unto him and to the men of Israel, We be come from a far country. Now, therefore, make ye a league for us. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, Peradventure, ye dwell among us, and how shall we make a league with you? It says, and they said unto Joshua, We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, Who are ye? And from whence come ye? And they said unto him, From a very far country. Thy servants are come because of the name of the Lord thy God. It says, For we have heard the fame of him and all that he did into Egypt. So everybody's heard about what's going on, what God's done, and what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? It says, And all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites that were beyond Jordan, and Shalon king and Heshbon, and the Og king and Bashan, which was at Ashtaroth. It says, Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of the country spake to us, saying, Take victuals with you for the journey, and go meet them, and say unto them, We are your servants. Therefore now make ye a league with us. It says, This our bread we took hot and for our provision out of our houses on the day we came forth to go unto you. But now, behold, it is dry and it is moldy.
They can't eat it no more.
No, I'm sorry.
They have no more food left.
And the bottles of wine which we filled, they were new, and behold, it says, they be rent. And these are garments, our shoes, and behold, old by reason of very long
Our
journey.
shoes wore out.
It says, And the men took of their vitals and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. He said, And Joshua made peace with them, and made a league with them, and let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. So they became as one, and here's what it is that all their food went bad, and all their drinks were bad, and everything they had was bad, all their clothes was bad, and everything was just, there was no good no more. And so they're like, hey, we'll bow down and we will basically serve you as servants, because they came from a very far country, is what it says, and they had to really walk a long way to tear up your shoes, and all their clothes and everything they had went bad. So they definitely were taking a chance even going all the way out there. But it says, And it came to pass, this is Gibeon's deceit discovered. So who's this? This is Gibeon's deceit discovered. It says, and this is verse 3, it says, Inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and Ai, or A, as we've been saying most of the time so far. So this is what's going on. These people have been sent out. They brought all this stuff, and now God's fixing to reveal the deceit discovered. It said, And it came to pass at the end of 3 days, after they had made a league with them, that they heard that they were neighbors, and that they dwelt among them. It says, And the children of Israel journeyed and came into their city on the 3rd day. Now that the cities were Gibeon, and Chibber, and Beeroth, and Kirjath, and Jearim. It says, And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto the congregation, We have sworn unto them because by the Lord God of Israel, now therefore we may not touch them. And now everybody's like complaining about it, like, what's going on, man? I was like, we don't like this. Why would you even do this? And why can't we just?
I take a break from
we want to get rid of these people, man. Like, why can't we do that? We know what's going on here. But they had made us. They had sworn an oath and saying that they can't do it. This is what's going on. We have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. Now, therefore, we may not touch them. It says, This will we do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath which we swear unto them. It says, And the princes said unto them, Let them live, but let them be hewers of wood, drawers of water, unto all the congregation as the princes had promised them. So this is what it is. Well, since we can't kill them, let's make them useful for something. Give them something to do, I guess. Huh. Can you ever imagine? Can you ever feel that way? Like whenever they hire somebody to work that seem like they're like useless. Like, what's the point of them even being here, man? Just get rid of these people. They can't do anything. Like, I don't even really care for them even being here right now. And then you're like, you know what? Just forget it. Find them something to do. This is what he was saying. This is what all the people were like. Just forget it. Just have them go do all this hard and some type of work. Just give them something to do. At least make use out of them. So this is what's going on. And it says in verse 22, 9:22 says, and Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are very far from you, when ye dwelt among us. Now therefore ye are cursed, and then there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen, and hewers of wood, and drawers of water from the house of my God, because they lied. Now they become cursed, and then they become slaves. This says, and they answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told thy servant how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore, we were so afraid of our lives because of you and have done this thing. It says, and now behold, we are in thy hand, as it seemeth good and right unto thee to do unto us. Do. It says, and so did he unto them, and deliver them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew them not. He said, oh man, we can't kill them. We made an oath and said that we can't kill them. They came and deceived us, but now they're like accursed. And so now they've been made to be slaves, and now they're having to be forced to be slaves for basically the rest of their lives. And this is what's going on. Verse 27 says, Joshua made them that hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altars of the Lord, even unto this day, in that place which he should choose. So everything they were chosen to do was chosen by Joshua, and he gave them commandments and things that they had to do. All right, we're going now finally into Joshua chapter 10. Boy, this is a lot of reading tonight. We're still reading. If you have not seen The Chosen, the last episode on Chosen, episode 3, the last 2 ones that are coming out, we went and saw them in the theaters. These things were awesome. It was like on fire. These people are on fire for God. They're really taking this thing like into consideration. They're really putting time into this. So I want y'all all to go there right after you watch this video. If you haven't watched it already, please just tune into it. This stuff is really good stuff here. It's really good. I suggest, if I was you, to have a good, view of Jesus's life when he was here, and just what all the things that he did, all of his signs, wonders, and miracles, and just seeing a more of a modern day, I guess you say, explanation through video, so you can kind of see how the way the culture was and the way things took place then, and just to have an idea how the way things worked. So, but yeah, it's really good stuff. Really good stuff there. A lot of it doesn't completely, 100% line up, but a lot of it does at the same time. I'd say it's more about 90% that lines up and a good 10% does not. Which, we're going to explain that. We're definitely going into the word. And so, I would suggest check it out, man. It's really good stuff. Just watch the Chosen chapter, the season 3, the last one is coming on tonight. It's going to be really good. It's the best one we saw in the theaters. You got to check it out. All right. So we're going to go now to Joshua chapter 10, and we're going to start right now in verse 1. It's called the conspiracy of 5 kings. Now it came to pass when Adonai Zedekiah, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and her king. It says, I'm sorry, maybe I should pull this over a little bit. It said, this is what he's heard. He's heard about what's going on. It says, and he done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them. It says that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, or and all the men there were mighty. It says, whereof Adonai Zedekiah, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Jahom, king of Hebron, and unto Purium, king of Jermoth, and unto Jabal, king of Lasha, and to the Jabal, king of Gilon, saying, come up unto me and help me. that we may smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and with all the children of Israel. Therefore, the 5 kings of the Amorites and the king of Jerusalem, the king of Lasha, the king of Elam, gathered themselves together and went up and all their hosts and encamped before Gibeon to make war against it. So now everybody's getting prepared to go make war.
Where you at? I'm sorry. She went to the bathroom.
Joshua chapter 10 and verse 5. Well, actually, we're going to verse 6 now. You can start there.
Oh, you already got the 10?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, where are we? You're at 6. You want me to come over there and read it?
You want to read 6?
Yeah, I don't know. Can they hear me from here, do you think? Or they should come over there?
I'll just read 6 all the way until 12 then.
Okay.
It says, this is Gibeon asked for Israel's protection. That's what Gibeon did. So these people are ready to go fight against all these people. And now Gibeon asked for Israel's protection. Now remember who Gibeon is. Remember Gibeon is basically the slaves of Israel now. They became slaves. This is what we just read. So hope y'all know what the heck's going on here. Because this can be kind of confusion if you don't understand what's going on. Now what's happened is the Gibeons are, what happened is they came to Israel and they act like all their food had spoiled, and they act like their shoes had become bad, and they act like that all these things to deceive Israel so that they could get Israel to swear that they won't kill them because that they know that they make an oath or something with the Lord that it has to be done. And so therefore, since that has been said, they basically, in other words, came and deceived Israel, and now Israel can't kill them. And so what's happened now is Joshua, he has made a covenant with them and told them, say, hey, okay, here's what it is. Since we can't kill you and all this stuff right here is going on, we're just going to make you hewers of wood, drawers of water for the congregation. So now what it was is that it was said that they can't kill any people that live in this city of the Gibeons. So this is what's going on. Now all these other 5 kings are going to make war with the Gibeons. So this is what's about to happen. So now it says, and the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilead, saying, slack not thy hand, for the servants come up unto us, quickly save us and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. Now they're saying, hey, we're basically your slaves, and all the other people here are like our people. Can you please protect them now? Because you basically made like a covenant saying that you're not going to kill us. So doesn't that kind of make you like our helper now? Can you please help us? You see what's going on now? They're wanting God to fight their battles, so we'll join the alliance and become slaves so that God can fight our battles. We'll deceive Israel and everything else, and we'll give all y'all we'll act like we have fake bread, and our bread is like bad and moldy, and we'll just wait till all of our bread goes bad and our shoes are about ready to wear out, and we'll go deceive Israel so that we can basically become slaves because we don't want to die by their hand. And so now they're asking and saying, look, Joshua, can you please help us? Can you please help us? Because the whole entire city's about to be taken. So this is what's going on now. So Joshua ascended from Gilead, and all of the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thy hand. And said, there shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilead all night. It says, and the Lord discomfited them before Israel. Well, so what does that mean, discomfited? Let's look and see what it says. It means he routed. So he gave them the direction. He says he routed them before Israel and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Beth Horon, and smote them to Askai and to Medea, not Medea. Anyways, and it came to pass as they fled from before Israel and were in the going down of Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them into Azekah,
Stone.
and they died. So God
Wow.
rained down
He rained
stones from
rocks.
heaven. You talk about where you hear that old saying, "Did they rain down cats and dogs?" It's raining cats and dogs. Well, God literally rained down stones. God, you know how they had that old saying that they got stoned to death. Well, God literally stoned them to death.
It says, and they died.
It said which died. It says and they died. It says and they were. It says and it says they were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. So God literally caused hail. You know, you gotta think about this. You know, whenever you know that a storm's about to come, right? And so whenever a storm's about to come and they know a tornado's about to be here, they're all of a sudden they said they have golf ball or baseball sizes of hail. So you know it's definitely true that hail can fall. They can be extremely hard, you know, and pieces of like extremely hard ice rocks that can, if you're standing outside, you'll die. Or you can get hurt really bad. If you get hit multiple times in the head, you're dead. It's over, dude.
Do you think it means hail, or do you think it means little rocks?
That's what it said. It says right here. It just said it.
Yeah.
It said with hailstones.
Yeah.
Hailstones. So literally, it said it rained down from the sky, and then that's what falls out of the sky. Even science approve that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They literally got hailed on. Yeah. Now, you know why they say the God will sweep down coals of fire, and then coals of fire and stuff like that and on their heads. Oh, man, you want to be careful. All right, well, it says that God killed more people with hail than all the people of Israel killed with the sword. So God killed them for them. They didn't even have to even do all the fighting. You just like, okay, you know what? I'll just get rid of them for you. I'll just cause a storm to brew, and I'll just like let all the hail rain down from heaven, and I'll just kill them all for you. Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna go kill them. You don't have to even deal with it. But here's the thing: is why did the Lord kill them? So is it either because God was just helping them, or is it because they were gonna face some people that they didn't need to face, and God just said, "I'm just gonna take them out for you." So. Some battles aren't your battle, and you don't have to worry about fighting that battle. You don't have to go fight against that person, because the Lord said right here, like what he did right here, he rained down hail from heaven and killed them. All right, so we're going to go now. It's, 12. Okay, so 12 through 21, Megan's going to come read. You want to hold baby on that?
If you want to, but I can hold it too.
Okay, you got it?
If you want to see your sister. You want to see your baby?
Let me see my barber. The camera's on.
Oh.
Look, Megan's on camera.
Okay, I guess I gotta be on the camera.
She's on camera. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay, so we're on 12. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Armenites, or no, what is it? Ammonites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley.
What did he just say?
He said that he told the sun to stay still and not move anymore.
Stand still. Don't even move.
And the sun stood still because God made the sun, so he could tell this.
You know what it means? It means the earth was basically staying in rotation in one area. Like it wasn't even hardly.
It means
moving.
time stopped on the
It's
earth.
basically time stopped.
And the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. It is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hastened not to go down about a whole day. So it's a whole day behind. So everything's a whole day behind still. It's like the world got a day behind. I think he's done that more than once, though.
Keep going.
And there was no day like that before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man. For the Lord fought for Israel. So he's never done that before or since. He's never going to do it again.
You hear that?
One time he made the time go backwards, though. I remember. I forgot who he did it for.
Keep going.
And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp of Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave in Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hid in a cave at Makkedah. So he told God, revealed where they were at. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mount of the cave and set men in it for to keep them. So he said, just lock them in there.
Okay, they want to do that. They're going to starve
And
to death
guard.
and just die.
And stay ye not, but pursue after your enemies. Stay ye not.
Stay ye not. What does that mean?
It means
Save not yourselves.
save not yourselves.
Don't stay here. Get out of here.
But pursued after your enemies and smite the hindmost of them.
What does that mean?
It means attack their rear ranks. So come from the back.
Yeah, come from the back and get them.
Suffer them not to
Surprise attack.
enter into their cities, for the Lord your God hath delivered them into your hand. So don't worry about it. You'll don't worry.
Yes.
Like you'll get them.
Keep on going.
And it came to pass when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying
Yeah.
them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed. So everybody was gone.
Let the rest.
That the rest which remained of them entered into fenced cities. So they went to go hide.
Fortified.
And
cities.
all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. No one even talked.
Like, you better not say nothing.
Everybody's getting
say
horrified.
See what he says?
Yeah.
He said, say something. Come on, say something.
Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave. The king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jermont, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of the men of war, which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they come near and put their feet upon the necks of them. So this is 25.
Yes.
And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed, be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all their enemies against
all
whom you
your
fight.
enemies. To all your enemies against whom ye fight, not there. To
Yeah.
whom all your enemies.
Whom you fight. Okay. And afterward Joshua smote them and slew them and hanged them on 5 trees. And they were
read that one again, verse 25.
Yeah. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed, be strong and of good courage. For thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom ye fight.
Now, hold on, wait. Did you already just said? Go back. What happened? What does the Lord say he's going to do to all your enemies? Verse 24.
He is going to
Put your foot,
put your
your
foot.
feet upon the neck of these kings.
Yeah.
So what happened? What does the Bible say in Luke chapter 10, verse 19? We're going to do what? We're going to do what?
I don't remember.
We're going to tread upon a serpent.
I thought it was that one, but I wasn't
But guess
sure.
what?
So it was
Where's your foot then? On their necks.
on their necks. So it's
On
the
their
same,
necks.
the same type of.
On their necks.
And afterwards, Joshua smote them and slew them and
Well, I
hanged
like
them on
that.
5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees unto the evening.
Well, I got to keep that one. That's a new one.
27.
I want to keep that one. I like that one. So see, you hear what he said, 24 and 25, man. I like that right there. That's going to be one of my new ones.
And it came to pass at that time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded, and they took them down off the trees and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain unto this very day. So they put them back in
You're
there.
cave bound.
It's like they buried them.
Go on. And Joshua took Makkedah.
The next thing is called Joshua Conquers. It's 28.
No, it's not conquers. It's called Joshua's
Conquest. There we go. Conquest. And it's 28. And that day Joshua took Makkedah and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king therein he utterly destroyed them, and all the souls that were therein. He let none remain, and he did to the king of Makkedah as he did unto the king of Jericho. So I guess he stepped on their
Now,
head.
what did he do to the king of
stepped on
Jericho?
their neck.
He hung the king
hold
of
on.
Jericho, remember? And so everybody that came in, they saw him hanging.
Oh, yeah. Then Joshua passed from Makkedah, and all Israel with him, and Lippad, and fought against Libnah. And the Lord delivered it also, and the king thereof into the hand of Israel. And he smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein. He let none remain in it, but did unto the king thereof as he did unto the king of Jericho. So he
Everybody
he
keeps
hung him
getting
again.
hung. He hangs everybody and puts them in the front of the city. So as soon as you come in, you see
Right.
their dead king.
Yep.
Now you know why they're all being terrified.
Yeah.
Oh, we heard about what you've done. How did they hear? Because every time they went close to that city, they see a dead king hanging.
Okay. Yeah. We're on 31. And Joshua passed from Libnah and all Israel with him onto Lashon, and encamped against it and fought against it. And the Lord delivered Ashlon into the hand of Israel, which took it on the second day,
And smote it.
and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein, according to all that he had done unto Libnah. So he's going from one to one in the next.
Yeah, keep on going. Go.
Then Haran, king of Gezer, came to help Lesha, so the kid of their offense, and Joshua smote him and his people until he had left none remaining. So he killed all of them.
So you think you're gonna? What you think you're gonna do something? Oh, you're on
And
this side,
from
you gotta find
Lesha,
out.
Joshua passed onto Eglon, and all Israel with him, and they encamped against it and fought against it. And they took it on that day and smote it with the edges of the sword. And all the swords that were wherein he utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to
Do you notice what's going on here?
He killed the kings first.
Do
And then he
you
went
notice what's going on here? What's going on here is that he's got confidence now. He developed confidence.
So it's
Like
like
before,
rolling.
he was just doing like one at a time, and then all of a sudden he's
It's like he's going from back to back
Now
to
he's
back
like,
to
oh, you know what? What's up? Because you know it's like if you've never been in an actual fight before, you don't understand what I'm talking about. But if you've been in an actual fight before and you won that fight, and
Yeah.
you just beat that person up or another person, if you're fighting against somebody like a physical fight, this is what you do. You get the confidence that the next person, you're like, hey, dude, what's up, dude? You want to get there right now?
It helps you. Yeah.
It gives you the confidence where you know for a fact that you can win.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you're hyped up. And if you win that on that next battle, then you go to the next one. If you win that battle, you got confidence.
Yeah. I don't
what
know on that,
35, read.
Didn't we just read 35 or 36?
Okay, read 36.
No, I think we're on 37, but 36. And Joshua went up from Eglon and all Israel with him onto Hebron,
And
they fought against it. So another one.
And then they took it and smote it.
With the edge of the sword, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and all the souls that were there within. He left none remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but destroyed it utterly, and all the souls that were therein. 38. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to Debir, and fought against it. And he took it, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed all the souls that there were therein.
None remaining.
He left none remaining, as he had done to Haran. So he did to Debir. Sorry, I can't read his name.
You're fine. Keep
And
on.
to the king thereof, and he that had done unto Libnah, and unto her king.
You know what it sounds
So we're on
like?
40.
They were all like killed. Like maybe
The whole
a perfect
area-
Example.
So Joshua smote all the country of the hills, and all the south, and all the vale, and all the springs, and all their kings. He left none remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breed. So that the Lord of God of Israel commanded.
And Joshua smote them.
He killed everybody. So
Yeah.
it's 41. And Joshua smote them from Kadesh, Barnea, even unto Gaza, and all the country of Gosher, even unto Gibeon. And all these kings and all their land did Joshua take at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel.
And
Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, onto the camp of Gilgal. So they got the whole area
so
now.
it says that who's doing all the fighting?
God.
God is fighting for us, pushing back
God
the
is fighting.
darkness,
Hmm.
lighting up the kingdom. You know, this is what he was doing. So God was fighting all their battles, and they were confident knowing that the Lord is on their side. Just as we supposed to do the same way, and know for a fact that we can put our feet on our enemies' necks, and that this ain't our fight.
It's God's
And
fight.
if the Lord wants to, he can kill them just like that.
Yeah.
He can send a tornado right now that'll fall down on their house out of nowhere. He can cause whatever he wants. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
called out fire from heaven. He could send out stones of hailstones and kill them while they're out. Oh, you think you can go to your car? Guess what? You just had a gigantic boulder land on your neck. You're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, God can get rid of them.
Yep.
Anyways, I guess that's it.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Hit backwards. The backwards one. Oh, just slide up. Hit this. I hit OK. Thank you.